always the thing about nostalgia, it feels better than what it is. And you go back and sometimes, like, everyone talks about the Attitude Era. The Attitude Era was like balls to the wall, right? Anything goes. But if you go back and look at a lot of those matches, they're just like 6,000 kicks, 6,000 punches.
Yeah.
The crowd are so hot. What made that era so great was the crowd. The crowd are just... I think there's always the thing about nostalgia, it feels better than what it is. And you go back and sometimes, like, everyone talks about the Attitude Era. The Attitude Era was like balls to the wall, right? Anything goes. But if you go back and look at a lot of those matches, they're just like 6,000 kicks, 6,000 punches.
Yeah.
The crowd are so hot. What made that era so great was the crowd. The crowd are just nuts. But again, like, sometimes, and don't get me wrong, sometimes you walk back, I'll go back to the first couple of Manias. Randy Savage was my first guy that I was big into. And I still watch him. I still love watching him, you know? But there's no way of ever knowing who the best player is or who the best defender is. Everything is circumstantial to the era that they're in. But I think there's...
All right, so you guys heard that. What do you guys think in my comments? Me personally, I'm thinking to myself, is he wrong though? Is he wrong? No, he's not. I went back before recording this video and I watched a number of matches from the Attitude Era, and Sheamus is absolutely right. You know, a typical match during the Attitude Era is punch, kick, rest hold, Irish whip, throw the person into the barricade, a signature move, finisher, and that's pretty much it. And of course, you know, you can sprinkle a net breaker or a Manhattan drop or submission in there. I'm oversimplifying it, but for the most part, that's how the matches were during the Attitude Era. So Sheamus is absolutely right. But the thing that makes the Attitude Era so special, at least for me personally, and you guys can share what made the Attitude Era for you special for you guys in my comments. The thing that made it so special to me was the characters, was the theme music. The theme music back then was so fucking iconic. The theme music made the wrestler damn near. The storylines were insanely good. So sure, Sheamus, you are absolutely right. The crowd is what made the Attitude Era what it was. But you are indirectly saying that with all the new moves and all the athleticism that you guys have in 2026 wrestling, you guys couldn't pop a crowd the way that the older guys could by doing just punches and kicks. Those guys doing punches and kicks pop the crowd way better than you guys doing all the flippy dippy stuff. Now, don't get this twisted. Modern wrestling, from an athleticism standpoint, is head and shoulders above the Attitude Era. In my opinion, feel free to disagree with me in my comments. But the moves today look so unrealistic. Another reason why I was able to enjoy the Attitude Era is because I was able to suspend my disbelief. It didn't look as fake. I'm not going to use the word fake because that's disrespectful to the wrestlers. It don't look as choreographed as it does now. With all due respect to Soul Ruka, that I can use a recent example, like her finisher, the Soul Snatcher, looks so fake. It looks incredible. It just looks stupid. A lot of the spots, the moves in today's wrestling, it requires the opponent to just sit there and wait. Anybody remember the ladder match, the Javon Evans spot with Rusev? You can literally see Rusev jumping forward into Javon Evans for him to land that cutter. I would show you the clip, but the WWE is not playing that shit with using their content. So anyway, so yeah, Sheamus, you are absolutely correct. The Attitude Era was a bunch of punches and kicks, but those guys knew how to tell a story, they knew how to work the crowd, and they knew how to... It was just so much better, man. I can't explain it. It was just so much better. It was so much more enjoyable. Like I said, the storylines was so much better. And I think I think you guys should be embarrassed because you guys can't pop a crowd the way they used to pop a crowd, and all they did was punches and kicks. But anyway, moving on. So, John Cena says his announcement at Backlash is going to shock the foundation of WWE. Let's listen.
WWE Universe, hey, John Cena here, standing in Thunder Alley outside of Benchmark International Arena in Tampa Bay. In just a few days, I have a major announcement inside this building that is going to shock the very foundation of WWE. From its fans to its superstars, from its champions down to its rookies. I'm so grateful Tampa is allowing me a place to make this announcement. Thank you, WWE. See it live on ESPN in the States and Netflix around the world, but don't miss Backlash. I'm so excited, and I'll see you there.
So what do you guys think this supposed announcement is going to be? According to the rumors, alleged, the announcement is Club WWE. What's Club WWE? Club WWE is a subscription-based service, if I'm not mistaken, to where you can pay a monthly fee to get certain perks. I don't really have the perks in front of me, so I don't want to be on this camera lying and speculating about some shit that might not even be true. So if you guys know more information about this, put it in my comments. But this is the supposed announcement. But anyway, speaking of Backlash, so according to this post and according to a number of posts on social media, alleged once again, because people like to spread misinformation and I don't want to be on camera saying this is 100% true when it's speculation. Danhausen's tag team partner is expected to be Jelly Roll. Now, me personally, I don't have an issue with Danhausen. I found Danhausen entertaining. The whole "you are cursed." I love it. I love it. I love goofy wrestling. I love comic relief characters. I enjoy that stuff. If you don't, that is fine. I enjoy it. But I think it's insane that TKO, WWE, you guys have all these celebrities, and celebrities have always been a part of wrestling. I'm not one of those guys, but I just find it crazy that you have space for Jelly Roll, but you are forcing your roster to either take a 50% pay cut or leave the company. Me personally, I think that's fucking insane. What do you guys think on that? In my comments, talk to me. And speaking of WWE TKO, they are, according to some posts, once again, allegedly, they are currently experiencing record attendance, record viewership, and record engagement as per TKO COO Mark Shapiro. So with that being said, if you guys have all this positive going on, got all this money going on, all this money you guys are making, why are you guys forcing your wrestlers to take 50% pay cuts? Either you guys are lying or extremely greedy. Now, in my opinion, I think it's both. What do you guys think? Talk to me in my comments. TNA. TNA has changed their start time for their Slammiversary pay-per-view to avoid going head-to-head with Forbidden Door. And I personally think that's a good thing because TNA ain't beating no AEW at nothing. All of you guys who like to say, yeah, TNA is the number one company in America. No, the fuck they not. Okay? And I love TNA. Okay? I've been watching TNA since the shit was on pay-per-view only. I love TNA. Okay, but we're not going to lie here. AEW is spanking the shit out of TNA in terms of everything. Storylines, wrestlers, in-ring product. TNA can't touch AEW on its best day, respectfully. Okay, so I don't know why people want to make that claim. But anyway, TNA, you guys are smart because you wasn't going to outsell no fucking Forbidden Door. You just not. It's literally 4 promotions versus your one, and you guys can't be AEW on your own. So that makes sense to me too. But speaking of TNA, according to this, NWA has gained more numbers than TNA. For its, I believe it's his first episode of Power. Now, with all due respect to the NWA, if you in 2026 of drawing less crowds than NWA, You guys, you need to get some work done internally. Ain't no fucking way. I'll be mad as hell. Respectfully, I'm not saying NWA is bad, but have you seen NWA? Like, it's like 2 or 3 people that you would recognize as a mainstream wrestling fan, and then it's just a bunch of random guys from their various territories. And if those guys can draw bigger numbers than your company, there's something wrong, in my opinion. But anyway, let me know what you guys think down in my comments.